Hello everyone. On this occasion of World MSME Day, we have with us Mr. Ajit Cham, who is the additional CEO and Chief Seller Officer at Government Marketplace or GEM. In his career spanning over 27 years in the government, Mr. Cham has worked intensely in the fields of textiles, trade, agriculture, as well as heavy industry sector. He has been serving at GEM since 24th January 2023 and has been playing a key role in enhancing seller participation as well as driving marketplace dynamics. Since its inception in 2016, GEM has been empowering MSMEs of India, providing them with a transparent and efficient platform for public procurement. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Cham.
Thank you for having me here.
So I think we can begin with some numbers around GEM. What are your current GMV numbers and orders? And what new sectors or buyer segments do you see as high growth opportunities?
Yeah, thank you for that question. Actually, this is a startup experiment of Government of India. We started with 422 crores in 2016. We've reached 5.43 lakh crores in last financial year, and it's ever growing. So in terms of GMV, it has really multiplied more than 1,000 times, and we've just about reached in terms of products and services, which is our current mandate, we've reached about a good amount of inroads into 3 tiers of governments, that is the central government and its organizations, as well as the state governments and the local self-governments.
Alright. GEM aims to remain inclusive.
Yeah.
With over 10.5 MSC sellers as well as 31.5 thousand sellers. But if you look at the total number of MSMEs in the country, the sellers registered are still a small amount. So what steps are being taken to onboard more enterprises?
Well, we are very conscious about the fact that there's a huge number of MSCs available in the market who might be wanting to do business with GEM, and we are not satiated with the numbers that we have. So yes, obviously we are trying to take proactive steps towards onboarding them in terms of aligning with various MSME and MSC organizations and associations. So they are our MOU partners, and we are having regular meetings and workshops with them to ensure that more and more MSCs come on board. And we also have a very good working relationship and collaborations with the Ministry of MSME, where we do combined programs to ensure that not only MSCs but women-led MSCs, SC/ST-led MSCs, startups, Divyangjan and other weavers, artisans, all of them as part of our inclusion mandate are onboarded onto the platform.
Okay. The GEM Sahaya help proprietors avail loans. Now, how do you assess its impact so far, and what future features can users expect?
GEM Sahay app has been a transformative intervention at GEM. We had done a pilot. We've now rolled out a India scale program. Its official launch is also awaited. The idea is small ticket loans, collateral free for the proprietors currently, and that later on the length and breadth of the program will involve all the sellers on the platform. The endeavor is to give a collateral free short ticket and short duration loan up to 10 lakh within 10 minutes time, preferably at very competitive rates. So the impact would actually be very far reaching when the India Scale program is launched, in terms of empowering the small MSCs to participate in more and more bids onto the platform.
I will follow you on this. The GEM portal is set to introduce a collateral-free loan facility for registered vendors. But tell us more about that.
So it has actually the program has been launched earlier in terms of pilot phase, and now we as I said, we are doing a national launch. Formally, it will be launched. We are in the process of onboarding as many lending partners as possible. It works on the highest level of fintech architecture. Open 4.0 architecture is what has been envisaged, and more and more lending partners are being onboarded with specific focus also on the banking partners, so that the cost of lending comes down, and more now beneficiaries are being onboarded. So once you have beneficiaries who are willing to take up this program, and when there are lenders who are willing to lend onto the platform, then things should be, it's one step more closer to more empowerment of the micro and small enterprises.
Independent assessment, as well as you told me last time, there are nearly 10% of cost savings is there for buyers. So what practices or algorithms does GEM employ to ensure optimal price discovery and competitive bidding?
Well, in terms of basic economics, it is about the seller base. Larger the seller base, more the supply is on the supply side, more competitive is the pricing. So there are studies which say every additional seller in a bid reduces the price by 0.5%. So that's point number one. Then there's a healthy mix of several this is a technology leveraged platform, so a lot of technology has been deployed, a lot of business analytics has been deployed, a lot of AI ML use cases are being deployed to ensure that price discovery is optimal. There are more, it's a democratic place, so more and more sellers from across the country are able to participate, and by virtue of that, and by virtue also of technology in terms of breaking the buyer seller nexus or buyer seller collusion, we are able to provide a very good pricing to our customers, that is our buyers, and very conservative estimates say, documented estimates say that at least 10% saving has accrued to our buyers. So if we are talking about a cumulative GMV of 14 lakh crores, you can just imagine the kind of impact in terms of cost efficiencies that this platform has been able to bring in.
So since listing country of origin became mandatory in 2020, so how has it affected buyer behavior and policy compliance among sellers?
Well, if you are referring to the land border sharing office memorandum of the government, which came into being in 2020, yes, it has definitely helped in terms of propelling the Make in India philosophy of the government. And in terms of sellers, it does mean that seller has to go through a certain amount of scrutiny to ensure that they are in compliance with the land border sharing in terms of control of ownership, or in terms of where the sellers established, sellers incorporated, and we make sure that we have mechanism onboarded on the platform where we ensure that this important policy is implemented properly.
What progress has been made in integrating GEM, with other government procurement systems, and what challenges still remain?
Well, we are moving towards a unified public procurement, largest unified public procurement end-to-end platform. Towards that, we are required to integrate with huge number of databases, huge number of buyer ERPs. Currently, if I am not mistaken, we have almost 75 integrations, be it integration with the Aadhaar database, or the PAN database, or MCA database, or BIS database, or even ERPs of certain important public sector undertakings. So this is an ongoing work. We continuously endeavor to ensure that more and more of our stakeholders are available to, their data is available to us in a systematic and technology driven way.
With the general financial rules now mandating GEM procurement, how to support government departments in capacity building and digital adoption?
Well, of course, this is an ongoing business. This is an ongoing pitch also for Government of India and its organizations. It's mandated. For states, it's not mandatory. Yet, we have a pitch made to all the states. All the states have signed up MOUs with us. And we've also added the third tier of governments, and also added cooperatives as a buyer. And we are continuously, through our engagements with our buyers, we are continuously in touch with them. We have nominated senior level officers who will go into the states, and this year probably we'll have a much extensive outreach with our stakeholders, especially other than the central government organizations.
So GEM has launched green categories in the past, like eco-friendly ACs and bamboo products. So what are your plans to expand the portal's contribution to India's sustainable procurement roadmap?
Well, if you, on a very basic level, if you just imagine the amount of paper or the carbon footprint that we have been able to generate in terms of saving the papers, the entire, we've done what, 72 lakh orders last year. A good number of them are bids, and it has been happening for 8 years. Even if you just count the number of papers that we've saved, it's huge. But we are a serious player in terms of, we take our responsibility towards sustainability very seriously, and we are in touch with BEE and MOEF and other standard making bodies, where we could introduce more and more sustainable products onto the platform.
So you told me earlier how GEM has integrated AI, ML and data analytics. So can you share some examples of how these have improved supplier discovery and pricing efficiency on the platform?
So whatever is required for the buyers to make a very informed decision, be it in terms of what has been the price at which the product that product or a similar product that has been transacted on the platform, or what is the price at which in certain cases the price at which this or similar product is available outside of the marketplace, that information has been made available using advanced analytics and AI ML models onto the platform. So basically, it's a continuous ongoing work. We have come out with a very interactive chatbot where a lot of queries, a lot of resolutions would be done by the chatbot. So this chatbot is available, if I've not my memory serving me well, in 10 Indic languages, and the idea is basically to empower the chatbot to make it so good and user friendly that more and more public interfaces with it, be it buyer or seller, and make best use of technology for their day-to-day operations.
How do you envision GEM's role evolving over the next 3 to 5 years, and particularly in achieving deeper market penetration among state governments and local bodies?
So I already mentioned that this year probably our focus would be more on the state outreach. So states is going to be a very important and integral part of our GMV growth business. Of course, CPSEs and central government account for almost a majority of our GMV. So then the next step is the local self-governments. We are trying, a lot of buyers have come in. Then we are also trying to get more and more cooperative buyers. Apart from that, we are trying to see if we can give more modalities of purchase, and then add a rate contract, things which would make our stakeholders easy. Probably, if God willing, if we have, we are also trying to see if we can get works as a mandate on the GEM. So this makes us a little more comprehensive than what we are. So maybe probably 3-5 years down the line, we would emerge as world's largest public procurement platform.
Alright, that was a very insightful session, and we hope to see more and more MSMEs come on this platform.
Sure.
And carve their way to public procurement. So thank you so much, Mr. Selvan, for being with us today.
Thank you, Garima, for having me here on this show on the World MSME Day, and I'm very glad to be here to tell you about the inclusion that we do insofar as MSCs is concerned on the public procurement platform.